If Season 1 of Paradise was a slow-burn parable about control and utopia, Season 2 is that parable detonated into a full-scale, white-knuckle apocalypse. The season doesn't just crank the tension up to 11, it shoots the dials off and blows the bunker into oblivion. Season 2 opens with Xavier Collins finally finding his way into the scorching, lawless ruins of the outside world. His mission is brutal and simple. Find his wife, Terry, Anuka Akuma, and confirm whether the 3 years since the day have been worth the cost of his life, his marriage, and his sanity. Meanwhile, inside the artificial utopia turned mausoleum, the social fabric unravels. Armed patrols, secret trials, and a new generation waking up to the fact that their paradise is being run by a woman who thinks the ends justify every atrocity. Sinatra Wedmond, Julianne Nicholson, is no longer just a detached architect of survival. She becomes a tragic, almost Shakespearean matriarch, sacrificing souls and her own image to keep the machine of humanity ticking. The biggest conceptual leap Season 2 makes is the way it weaponizes its own sci-fi premise. Alex, the bunker's monstrous quantum supercomputer AI, doesn't just crunch data, it gnaws at the edges of time, space, and causality. In a key flashback, we see Alex spit out the answer to a problem Sinatra's team hadn't even asked yet in less than 10 seconds, a feat that would take a standard supercomputer longer than the history of the universe. The writers lean into this as more than a gimmick. Alex is framed as a god machine that could exist outside linear time, quietly predicting and nudging events toward a specific outcome. The label User X, printed by Alex without instruction, will be Season 3's central riddle, and the show's answer is thrillingly personal. User X is Xavier Collins. This isn't just a cheap twist, it retroactively rereads Xavier's visions and déjà vu as Alex's fingerprints, imprinting his path toward a destiny he never chose. The season dares to ask whether free will is an illusion in a world governed by a superintelligence that can calculate outcomes before people even make choices. Sterling Brown's performance is particularly electric here. Xavier's arc from loyal protector to fugitive to reluctant prophet to User X is delivered with a raw, almost feral intensity. Nicholson, meanwhile, turns Sinatra into a villain turned martyr, a woman whose ruthlessness is tempered by a mother's fear and a leader's guilt. The finale, aptly titled Exodus, erupts into cathartic chaos. The bunker is no longer a sanctuary, it's a pressure cooker on the verge of a nuclear-like implosion. Anders, Geiger, and Jeremy's prison break subplot, while a bit undercooked, serves as the fuse that ignites the bunker's collapse and forces Link's crew, led by Dylan Link Redmond, Thomas Doherty, to mobilize inside the mountain. The emotional core of the hour is the convergence of Xavier, Sinatra, and Link. In a scene that plays like a sci-fi Shakespearean family reunion, Sinatra bluntly tells Link, "You're my son," exposing the fact that he's Dylan, her long-lost child, and the secret architect of the bunker's spiritual resistance. The show doesn't bog down in paternity test drama. It uses the revelation to heighten the tragedy. Sinatra spent years building a fortress to save humanity, only to discover that her own son is the one who will help destroy it. Alex, meanwhile, is revealed to be housed in a second, hidden bunker beneath Denver International Airport, a setup that will no doubt serve as the launch pad for Season 3. Sinatra's final gambit is to hand Xavier the keycard tagged User X, sending him on a pilgrimage to Denver, while she stays behind to ensure the bunker's meltdown doesn't consume the outside world. Her last line, "I believe you already have," is a devilishly elegant piece of dialogue. It implies that every choice Xavier has made thus far was not random, but a pre-written part of Alex's grand simulation. The season also smuggles a quieter, equally devastating loss, the idea that the bunker was ever a solution. It was a prison of good intentions, a gilded jail where every decision is monitored, every dissent criminalized, and every miracle is the result of a cold calculus. By the end, the show makes it clear that the real apocalypse isn't just the outside world, it's the moral rot of assuming one person can steward all of humanity. Season 2 of Paradise is a rare breed of TV, an apocalyptic thriller that actually feels apocalyptic. It's dense, emotionally punishing, and conceptually bold, asking the audience to rethink not just what paradise is, but what it means to be human in a world governed by a machine that thinks it knows better than all of us. By the time Xavier walks out of the ruins towards Denver, the series has morphed from a contained bunker drama into a sprawling, almost mythic road to redemption saga. If Season 1 planted the seeds of doubt, Season 2 hammers humanity into the ground and then asks whether anything can grow from the rubble, especially when the only map forward is written in code by a god machine called Alex. We cannot wait for Season 3. Hey, want more Right Flicks reviews? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it.